Hello, and welcome to Lumpia and Latkes. I'm Jay, a Filipino American.
And I'm Mitch, an American Jew. We are friends and coworkers who riff all day at work and decided to create this podcast for extended conversations on anything that intrigues us.
We won't always get it right, but we'll do what we can. Thanks for joining us. This episode, arcades. Arcades, that's the topic of the week, arcades. I love arcades. Don't you love arcades, Mitch?
I do love arcades, Jay. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, a little, they're casinos without having as as many financial debts. Well, I guess it is, depending on how much you play the games. But anyway, let's talk about...
I was just playing Galaga earlier today.
That's what we're going to get into, classic cabinets. So Galaga. Galaga's fun. Love Galaga.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Galaga, Asteroids. The one that I think is classic, at least for me, is the one I always used to go to in the local arcade, which we'll get into later, is The Simpsons, the 4-player arcade game.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
Homer,
I get
Marge.
it. That wasn't like the full classic stuff, man.
No, it's not true classics, but it's classic for me because that's
right.
It's one of the when I think classic arcade cabinets, I think anything that's like one of those stand up full arcades, with a video
anyone
screen.
That's a stand up, man. I get it. Yeah, absolutely.
Those old ones.
So yeah, I think for me, my most favorite arcade game. God, it's so hard. I've got several.
I really loved Pac-Man.
Pac-Man was excellent, but if I have to go with some of the classics myself, of the ones that I like the most, the very first one I can think of off the top of my head, Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair, wow!
Dragon's Lair
with the old old animations by who was the guy that animated those?
I don't remember who did those animations, but they were so freaking good.
Fantastic.
They were my favorite. I could never ever get really far in them.
Yeah,
but I love playing them
so
much.
That's like the first iteration of QuickTime. That's like a true. That's just all QuickTime events. Real hard to do. But
you got to be real quick with your reflexes on things. Otherwise, you pretty much are done with. And it was so fun. The other one that I can think of that was also one of my all-time favorites, Tron.
Tron, okay. The
original Tron game and the original Star Wars. Although I will say that the updated Star Wars one that they have with the bigger ensemble or whatever, so much fun. But I can remember getting inside of the actual, you sat inside of the whole setup for the original Star Wars game when you're actually like the TIE fighter, and it was all 8-bit, just crap. Crap kind of setup. But it was so much fun to play when I was a kid. I think I got to level 8 was the best I could do in that game. But it was so freaking tough to play. That one was so tough to play. Those are my favorites as far as the ultimate classic ones for me. Yeah. What were some of the other ones that I liked? There's always Frogger. That was always good.
Yeah, Frogger was always fun. Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah, who doesn't like Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong's great.
I love Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it's great.
That was really good stuff.
Remember, you weren't saving Peach; you were saving Pauline. That's the weird thing. It was not Peach up there. It's like, who in the world is Pauline?
Peach,
and then they forgot who it is.
It was like the beginnings of Peach, but it wasn't Peach. It was Pauline. Yep.
Right.
You remember Double Dragon? That was fun.
Oh, Double Dragon. That's the one where it starts out with the where your girlfriend gets killed, and then you have to go. Yeah, and they changed that for like the re-release or whatever. It was like she just gets kidnapped instead of killed.
Right.
Something like that. Yeah.
Right. And then Contra. There's always
Contra. My sister and I used to play Contra all the time. I mean, for the NES, and that was just one of the best. Like, we used to play specifically Super Contra for the NES. That was great. All that running gun stuff.
Yep. Awesome. I remember playing Contra though on the old N64 box. It was up, down, left, right, BA, start.
Yep.
Unlimited lives every time.
Yep.
And then Spy Hunter.
Spy Hunter. Okay.
Yeah.
I had that for the GameCube.
Yeah.
The later one that came out. But the original though. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, man.
At some point they made a Spy Hunter the Spy Hunter failed movie. They put out the game first, and it was going to star none other than Dwayne Johnson The Rock when his movie career was going, when it first starting. And then they made the game first, and then they never made the movie. They just never made it. It's like, what a weird thing.
That is so weird, man. That is so freaking weird.
Very strange.
Yep.
As far as other classic arcade cabinets, again, it's not truly classic, but Cruis'n USA. I used to love the old Cruising USA. The driving is just excellent in that game.
Well, in the '90s, man, things really the graphics and everything in the '90s really, upped the game of everything. When you started getting better graphics and stuff, it just started turning into really cool stuff. I remember in college, I was playing. Oh gosh, one of the NBA games. I played the crap out of that one, and I actually had to count inside the game. So every time I went in, I signed it in my account, and I would sit there and play the NBA game. It was you played 2v2, and I was always playing like Shaquille O'Neal, and I can't remember who the other guy was, but it was a smaller guy.
The only NBA game I know is
Hardaway or something like Penny
Hardaway.
Only
NBA game I know is like NBA Jam, but that was for the consoles later. Did that have?
Yeah, it was for NBA Jam.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway,
but then you also had like your Street Fighter and your MK series.
Street Fighter, yeah, man, there used to be such a huge following for all that stuff. Way before like Soul Calibur and all the games that came out later. Like Street Fighter was it. Even before that, it was Virtua Fighter.
I was never really good at those games, man. I couldn't push the buttons and turn at the right time. My hand-eye coordination, I guess, just wasn't good enough.
Anytime I go back to play those games now, it's just button mashing for me, and it's not satisfying. I mean, I only play it because of the fact that I'll usually have someone else who wants to play those games. I'm like, okay,
right,
I'll play it with you, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
And it's not fun that way. It's like I have to know your controls.
Got to know the combos, man.
Yeah, that's why.
My son was really good doing some of the combos, man. But I mean, he played the MK on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And has like the lifetime thing for it or whatever, and just went nuts on that sucker. Just went absolutely nuts for the longest time. And he knows all the combos and stuff. But then again, by that point, you actually had a setup in the game where you could just practice your combos, and it gave you the breakdown of all the combos anyway. So it told you everything you needed to know. Whereas back then, you had to figure that shit out yourself.
Yeah. Like it's changed. The Game Genie and all that stuff, and gaming in and of itself has become such a different beast compared to when games were just when we didn't have the internet, pretty much. Like everything was just you have what you have. The game is what it is. There's not going to be any changes these days. Like there's so many updates. It's like I don't know. We're not here to talk about. We're not really here to talk about modern games. We're here to talk about arcades and what they are and
classics.
Yes. The fact that these classics have also been made into the 1-up arcade cabinets, which I mean it's an interesting thing. These 1-up arcades, because you get a cabinet, but at the same time it's not a full size cabinet, and you get arcade controls, and their controls are okay. But I mean, people take these cabinets and they update them, and they put MAME emulators on them, so they put their own games in there and switch out the controllers. But at that point, it's like, why even buy the cabinet at all? Why don't you just get your own? Like they have designs for like MDFs. I mean, just to make a cabinet. If you want to really make a cabinet, you can get someone to make you a cabinet out of MDF and just put your own screen in there and your own controls. Why even buy the 1-up arcade machine at all? That's my
thing. I don't know, man.
If you're going to mod it that much, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The only one I would be probably willing to get, there's a couple, but at some point I saw in Ollie's, they had the Simpsons arcade game, that one they were talking about. They had that as a 1-up arcade, and it came with a stool that has the Simpsons arcade logo on there too. I was like, that's cool. I just don't have space for it. Well,
that'd be way too big.
Yeah, and then the other one too. It's the original Time Crisis.
Oh yeah,
it also comes with Point Blank and some other game, but I'm not really a huge fan of the first Time Crisis. Time Crisis 2, 3, and 4 where it picked up for me. The first one is a little difficult.
Yeah, dude. Any one of those FPSs at the arcades were always difficult for the most part. I mean, you get maybe 5 minutes of playability out of it, and then you're pretty much done unless you know the right format of how to play it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And even then, the older ones they were set. You knew, hey, it's going to approach from this section, then this section, then it's going to come from here, then it's going to come from there. It's nothing randomized. And nowadays, with the newer stuff, it is turning into randomized locations and stuff, which makes it even more difficult. But again, the classic stuff, even with knowing, hey, this is going to come here first, this here second, this here third, even when I played them like that, 5 minutes was most of the playability I got out of there before the game was over.
I got really good at Time Crisis 2 because of the fact that I loved it so much. I bought it for the PlayStation 2, and I had the home version with the Namco Gun Con, and I would play that all the time at home. I could get through the game in the arcades with maybe about $2, and that's like 50 cents
Wow.
a shot, right? Because at some point you learn the rhythms. It's like anything.
Right.
Like you're saying, back in the day with these games, the hardware wasn't as refined, the
Yep.
algorithms weren't there,
Yep.
so it's always going to be the same spots. So you just had to know
Yep.
where to shoot.
Exactly.
As
Not like
for
Pac-Man.
modern ones now, no, it's totally random. You're not gonna.
Yep.
It's not to do too much of a tangent. It was like that the controversy with that guy for Press Your Luck, right? That dude who
Yeah.
memorized the frickin' board
Yeah.
and he got all that money, and he was. I guess he was cheating, but at the same time, it's kind of like card counting. Are you really
It's
cheating
like
if
card
it's got
counting.
something?
Exactly. It's not
It's
illegal.
not. It's not illegal. But then they had to
It's just
change the whole
frowned upon.
system. Yeah, they had to change the whole system, and at that point, it's a big scandal back in the day. And then when they
Yeah.
brought it back, they had a automated computer generated system instead of
That's
the
right.
light cards that they go through. So that's
That's
just a
right.
little tidbit on that. But yeah, man, when now you're talking about shooters,
Yeah.
House of the Dead. Are you a big House of the Dead guy? The zombie
No,
system?
I was never
I
really big in the House of the Dead. No,
I
not
would
really.
play it because it was a shooter, but at the same time, it's
Mhm.
like I don't know. I mean, it's not really my favorite thing. I don't know.
Okay.
Any of those one-up arcade cabinets that you would buy if you had a chance, or no?
Dude, I'd probably go with with the classic one. Like, do you remember we had lunch that day at
Oh, the pharmacy.
Irwin's
Irwin's.
Pharmacy
Yeah, yeah,
out there on what is it? Shoot,
yeah. Gosh,
Not Princess Anne Road. Was it Princess Anne Road?
it's Norfolk. That's all I know.
No, it's not Princess Anne Road. It's Indian River Road. Indian River
Okay.
Road.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we had lunch at Irwin's. Remember that arcade that was
Yep.
there? It was classic arcades, man. It had like 20 of the classic ones with Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man,
Yep.
Galaga, Centipede,
Yeah, yeah. One of those multi-caves.
Karate.
Yeah.
I think it was like Karate Champ or something like that
Hmm.
as well. Man, that to me that's it. I mean, Donkey Kong in there. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. To me, that's a true uh, arcade cabinet.
Well, now that we're talking about like that you just reminded me of you remember the Golden Tee? I play that all the time. It's one of my
Mm-hmm.
favorite games still. The old golf game. You know?
Oh
Yeah, you
yeah.
have
Okay.
the
Yeah.
giant
Yeah.
ball
Yeah.
that you roll back and roll
Yep.
forward
Yep. Yep.
to
Yep.
swing
Yep.
your club. It was such
Yep.
an interesting mechanism to control a golfer, and it was just fun just to
Uh huh.
to
It
whip
was
that ball
hard.
in one direction. Yeah, it was great,
It
fun
was
times.
hard. It
It was
was
hard,
very hard.
but it
And
was
every time I
fun.
played that one, I remember playing that one. I maybe
Yeah,
only got like two holes in, but like if you could get like a birdie on each hole,
hmm
then you could keep going or something crazy like that. Me,
yeah,
I'd get like two holes and be like, "Game over. Thanks for playing." And I'm like, "Really?
yeah,
This sucks." But yet there's other people out there. Man, they had the skills to pay the bills.
yeah,
It's good
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And then all right. So we'll move from that to
Okay.
ticket machines, right? So ticket, and this all goes hand in hand with redemption machines also,
Okay.
because any good arcade, of course, it's not just these days. It was, I guess, in the past, it used to in like the '80s, it used to be for like people who had played just the classic cabinets, but eventually they started learning, oh, there are kids that want to go in these, and then you had
That's
Chuck E.
right.
Cheese and redemption machines. So let's
Right.
talk about redemption machines first. Let's talk about tickets in general. So you have physical tickets, and then you have
Right.
virtual card tickets. It seems like less people are doing physical tickets, which makes sense. I mean, it's a lot of
Right.
waste. I mean, where they do those tickets afterwards, they don't put them back in the
That's right.
machine. They just
Exactly.
shred them. But at the same time, I love the physicality of real tickets. Just
Oh,
having like a
absolutely, dude.
couple of tickets back in the day, or like
It
a
was fun
handful
to
of
gather
tickets,
all
was
those
great.
tickets together, man. It was
Yeah,
fun to go ahead and put it inside the machine and
yeah.
get it
In a
to
ticket
feed itself
muncher,
in
yeah, no,
there, and
dun,
it
dun, dun,
beats
dun,
it
dun.
out
It's
for you.
great.
It was a lot of fun to do that, man.
Yeah.
We did that back in the day. Shoot, man, I got a photo. I got a photo of my cousin Micah, man, holding a
Hmm.
big old bucket of tickets because
Hmm.
we kept on playing the Gone Fishing game, man, and it kept
Okay.
on
Yeah.
spitting. And for whatever reason, man, we just kept hitting it. Just kept hitting that jackpot. 500
Right.
tickets. We had like 500 tickets like 10 times in a row, man.
Hmm.
It was crazy. I even think we hit the jackpot twice, and it reset, and we were just like, "Oh man, this is great!" And then, we got all our stuff and combined all the tickets together, and just got, then we split it off evenly, so that way everybody could get something. Oh man, we had so much fun with that. That was a lot of fun.
But yeah, the tickets though, like physical tickets. Now you got virtual card tickets. It's not as fun to see a counter rise with nothing coming out. I mean, at the same time, like the fact that you have those big numbers. I mean, that seems really cool, but it's just I don't know, it loses something in the process. I mean, I guess kids are still excited by it. I don't know.
Right. I don't know, man. I mean, so Apex, which you've been to out there at Town Center,
right?
They had a game. It doesn't give out tickets per se, but it's like a ring catch. It's a claw machine.
Yeah,
that has rings.
Yeah.
And then you use the claw to grab the rings, and depending on which ring you grab would say how many tickets you got.
Right.
We got obsessed with that, my wife and I. And, well, it was basically my wife and I that got obsessed with it. But we got really obsessed with that game, and we wound up probably dropping about $100 in that sucker. And we got so many freaking tickets out of that thing that it was unfreaking real. We're just holding the rings. And every time we literally had like 2 armfuls of rings, and then we just go and turn them in. And then the guys were like, okay, well, we got to put them all back in. The machine's going to be down for like 5 minutes or so. And then they just put all the rings back in there because there was none left. And then we turned around and did it all over again. And got more. So we had I don't know, we had thousands upon thousands of freaking tickets with that one. That was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed that. But once again, we converted the tickets down into
virtual tickets,
tickets, onto a card. Right. So it was kind of pointless. It was like, oh, okay, whatever, that's fine. But the other one that we did too, and we did this for a good while, man. So early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, there was an arcade place over in Chesapeake by the Regal Cinemas across the street from Greenbrier Mall. It used to have a roulette game with a ball.
Colorama?
Yeah, Colorama. Yep, there you go. Colorama.
We were talking about that at some point. That's when I went to this thrift store, a giant thrift store over in Portsmouth.
That's right.
And they were selling them. I think they were selling them. There was no prices on them, but they had. It looked like they had emptied out someone's arcade, and they were just sitting there. And they had Colorama. I was like, wow, they got this over here. I never asked what the price is. I don't even know if it's still over there, but I would imagine somewhere around $700.
Go out on date night for ourselves every other week. It was the day after payday, and we would go and spend like $50. And man, we had a blast doing it every freaking it's like every Friday night or every Thursday night. I think it was every Thursday night because we used to get paid on Wednesdays. Our checks we did the bank on Wednesday. We pay off all our bills and be like, all right, cool. And we weren't making much at the time, but whatever, man. We still went out every Thursday night. We went to this freaking arcade and played just played Colorama. I mean, we tried other games, but every single time we just kept coming back and back to Colorama. And we wouldn't buy anything. We would save all of our tickets, and we get all these tickets, and then we would turn them in, and then we'd get it put onto a card. And we kept doing it. We did it for like 6 months, man. 6 months. And then one day, we go there for our typical date night. Closed.
Oh, no.
It was completely closed.
Awful.
So now we had thousands upon thousands of tickets on this card, and we couldn't use them for jack shit.
That's terrible.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what happened to that card. I think we just threw the card away. But yeah, we had no more. I mean, we were probably, I think at the time we were trying to get an Xbox, which was like 160 or 200,000 tickets. And I think at the time we probably had like, I don't know, 130 or 140,000 tickets, something like that. Yeah, that's what we wanted to get. We wanted to get an Xbox. I was like, okay, well, can't get an Xbox now.
Yeah.
My Xbox story will be saved for another time, though. My Xbox story is pretty crazy. Oh, dude.
Oh, man.
It so sucked. I was so disappointed with that. But hey, that's what happens, man.
But now we're talking about quality of prices. That's another thing. So, I mean, it's so strange. It's like when I went to, for my birthday week, whatever, I went to Busch Gardens, right? And went to the arcades.
Right.
The arcades are okay. What did I get? I had like 1,600 something points or tickets, right?
Okay.
And like I'm looking at the prizes, and there's so many of these little tiny things that I don't care about. Like you got the usual like little Tootsie Rolls and the the popper things, once you flip inside out and they jump up, right, and little bouncy balls. I'm like, I don't care about any of this. The only thing that was like even worth anything was 900 tickets. Most of my damn tickets, and it was I mean, it's good. It's a Shy Guy plushie from Mario. It's about like maybe 7 inches tall. And that's cool, but it's like 900 tickets for that. You know how much I had to spend to get 900 tickets?
You probably spent like $80.
Yeah. I'm like, what is this? Like, this is such a ripoff.
What's the value? Man. What's the value?
What is the value?
What you
the
paid?
Value for what actually got is probably like maybe $5 at best. I'm like, what is this?
Exactly.
What is this? It sucks.
So I agree with you on that, and there are several places out here that I've bought that I've played into the games. I mean, and I could ramble off the names, Dave & Buster's, Apex, even Chuck E. Cheese's in back in the day, Showbiz Pizza, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All of those places. It really does seem like the whole purpose of this whole thing, even with the tickets, it's not about what you get at the end.
It's not. It's
not
about
the prizes.
Yeah.
It's about the experience.
It's about the connection with other people. Yeah. About having fun in the games.
And about having fun in the moment and stuff like that. Because I got to be honest, the prizes suck.
Prizes do suck.
I mean, the worst, and I hate putting these people out there, but to me, Apex really did not live up to the hype as far as the price.
I'm with you on
concerned.
That. I went there like I don't like any of these things.
I'm better off just buying a shit ton of candy than I am trying to get some of these other bigger prizes.
Right.
And it was like there was no good in between prize. For a couple of $1,000, you could get this one prize, and it's like a meh kind of prize where you're like, hey, this could be okay, but it's really just it's really just a piece of plastic, if you will. Or next thing, and then all of a sudden it went from a couple $1,000 to like 5-figure stuff where it was like, oh my gosh, you could get an autograph of George Foreman when he was boxing, or something crazy off like that.
Okay,
I'm like,
sure.
Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess, if I really want a signed autograph from George Foreman. Okay, sure.
Is he holding the George Foreman grill? That'd be
no, he wasn't holding George Foreman. I don't know.
Boo.
It seals in the flavor.
That's right. It knocks out the fat.
Knocks out the fat. That's right.
God rest his soul. He's also passed away.
Yeah, God rest his soul. But still, it would be kind of cool stuff like that. You'd see memorabilia and things like that. And the memorabilia prices would just be out of this freaking world. And then it literally just dropped to this crap price of a couple $1,000. And you'd look at it and be like, there's nothing really good in the range that I have. So for 50 points or 50 tickets, I'm going to go ahead and buy a bunch of candy. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. But then again, you could just do that at the dollar store.
Right, exactly. I go to the dollar store and do the same thing.
I feel the same way about GameWorks when it used to be in Greenbrier Mall.
Same thing, man. Same thing.
Their selection
it's okay, I'm going to drop $100.
Yeah.
And then I'm walking out with a pocket full of candy.
Right.
It's okay. Sure. I don't feel like I've gotten my money's worth from it in the perspective of the tickets.
Right.
But, now I will say Dave & Buster's at one point did pretty well with their prices. They had a good balance. I
agree with that. Yes, I agree.
I thought Dave & Buster's had a good balance.
Yeah.
But this was years ago, and I mean years ago, and I haven't been back to Dave & Buster's since. But when, like I said, the most recent one that we did was Apex, and we were disappointed with the ticket to prize output, and felt like they could have done better in that department. Now, in terms of playability and fun, oh man, I had lots of fun. We really did. We had a good time. We really loved that ring game, getting all the tickets in the ring game. We had a blast doing it. And honest to goodness, my wife and I probably focused more on that game than we did any other game in that first floor. Because, now, and to be fair, there's a decent amount of games there at Apex, but not a whole lot of games.
They're so spaced out that it doesn't feel like there's enough. That's the thing. There's a lot of empty space that's not utilized in that space.
But Apex offers stuff.
Apex is really cool. I never realized how much stuff they have. Like
it's very diverse.
Yeah, we went to do the dark ride, which is not really a dark ride. They call it that, but it's, I picture dark rides as like, you're on a track and you move around. But it was really cool. We did the
I didn't do that.
Yeah, the mini, like, was it Neon Ninja, which is really cool. Yeah, you sit in these. It's a 3D simulator. Well, it's really a 4D simulator.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and you're sitting in these chairs, and they move around, and it's basically Neon Ninja.
Okay.
It's your female ninja in like a new wave future, and you're going around. You have to shoot all these robots. Cool. They give you a little laser gun thing that you shoot with, and you got 3D glasses, and these chairs move around. And also, there's wind that comes out from like these fans in front of you. It's really fun. Then they take pictures of you too. That's what I didn't like. I hate when they take pictures of you and they don't tell you. Because then your face is on the fucking screen with the result at the end of the day. It's like, take that off. I mean, I don't want to be seen.
It is what it is. It
is what it is. I won both times. It was fun.
I will say for returnability, Apex has a lot of good returnability.
Yeah.
With the bowling, with the axe throwing, with the
escape rooms,
with the escape room, with the
virtual
miniature golf,
virtual sports spaces were in the. You already said bowling, right? Okay.
Bowling. Yep, they have bowling. They have pool tables there.
Yeah, billiards.
So I mean, returnability-wise, playability-wise, Apex is. I give Apex an A, at least an A on it. Not an A plus, but I'd give it an A.
As far as like an overall experience that feels more theme parkish, I think Apex does pretty well.
Yeah, Apex was really cool. Okay, I'm not going to knock it. Dave and Buster's is good too. It's fun. Yeah. I like the fact I think they switched over to like the limited play stuff, which was kind of cool.
Okay.
You get it for like an hour or something like that, but you got to pay a little bit of a higher premium for it. But it's only certain things that you can do like unlimited play for, like the ticket ones. You can't really do a whole lot. I don't think you can do unlimited play with those. You have to pay for those, I think. But it's been a while since I've been there, so I apologize if I got it all wrong on that one.
You know what I hate about Dave and Buster's is that they have those the 3D rides that have the headsets, and I doubt that anyone's cleaning those headsets. So you're probably wearing someone's sweat. You probably might be exposing yourself to possible pink eye if someone's got some shit going on. That's why I never use those. I'm not touching them.
I don't want to touch them either. And if I did touch them, I'd be having a wet wipe.
That's what I was saying. I was like, people don't really think about that thing. People put this on their head. You're going to sweat. It's just natural. Exactly. You're doing all the physical activity. You're going to sweat.
Exactly.
It's disgusting. In Korea, what they have is they have these face masks for your eyes, so it goes over where that stuff touches you, so it doesn't actually touch your face. I think they should have these here, but they don't.
Wow.
I would love to have those here. I would that way you never touch someone else's sweat.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool.
But other than that, Dave and Buster's is solid. Yeah,
but Dave and Buster's is still a solid place to play. It's still good. The food is decent as well, and taking a step back with Apex, their food is still decent too.
Yeah, I haven't eaten at Apex actually. I haven't done that.
I've eaten at Apex before. I've had some of their appetizers, and they're decent. They were decent. They were on par with Dave and Buster's. Let me put it that way. Okay. Dave and Buster's is still good food. Yeah. It's bar food. Apex as well, bar food. But it's still decent food. It's not terrible. It's not like out of this world. It's just good food. It's just decent American food. My problem is their prices, man. Their prices are just way too high. It's like, hey, if you're here, we're going to get you. And they got to throw the combo in with it. If you want to do all the fun stuff and eat too, then you can do all of this. Well, guess what? Yeah. It's like $75 a person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like $50 to $75 a person.
That's a lot.
For Dave and Buster's, man. So if you want to eat and then play some stuff for a little bit, it's like $50 to $75 per person.
I find it interesting that Dave and Buster's offered that as an option too, where if you get your tickets, you can redeem those towards a free entree at the restaurant portion. It's like that was like that's an interesting thing to offer. I guess some people take it up on them. I don't know. I'm not sure how many people actually go take them up on that offer. I mean, I guess you're there, but at the same time, wouldn't you rather? I don't know. If you're already there, I guess you want to eat. Right?
They're not going to give away their food for free. Okay? No. Because in all fairness, well, I keep on saying in all fairness.
You sound like one of our coworkers.
I know, right? In all fairness, Jay. But profitability on restaurant food is astronomically high. I mean, I remember myself. I used to work for 6 months. I worked for IHOP, and every time I worked at IHOP, the day that I was working, I could go ahead and get a free meal. Or not a free meal. I could get a meal, but my meal was half off every time, 50% off. Mm-hmm. And they still made like 30-40% profit.
And probably about most of that stuff, maybe 75%, was microwave crap. I don't know. I mean, that's where you go.
IHOP wasn't.
No, I mean,
I don't know about Dave and Buster's, and I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if some of it wasn't microwave, which would be very depressing.
My references are not per really the arcade places. It's the fact that, I used to certainly service some of these restaurants. I won't say which ones, but and you would go there and you'd see them using the microwave like all the time, and it's like,
that is true.
All you're eating is microwave crap. No wonder it tastes like nothing.
Yeah, I know. There was one restaurant we used to go to all the time, and they used to serve manicotti, and the wife asked for manicotti, and she got it, and it took forever to get, but when she got it, it was literally steaming on the outside and frozen in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I looked at my wife and I said,
"This was microwave."
Yeah, you don't want to know what they did with this. And she was like, "I'm not going to have this again." And we don't go back there very often. Yep. I think it's been a couple of years since we've been there.
I feel we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about two local greats, Aladdin's Castle. And Spaceport and Coney Island. You had Aladdin's Castle in Lynnhaven Mall, and then Spaceport and Coney Island in Pembroke Mall.
Aladdin's Castle, man. I frequented Aladdin's Castle all the time when I was a kid.
Aladdin's Castle was my childhood, was your childhood, with a lot of childhood.
So much fun on that second floor at Lynnhaven Mall, dude. Yeah. It was so cool.
Right next to the A&W.
That's where the A&W store,
Yep.
And Mother's Music.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I don't remember on the second floor they used to have they used to have there's not an arcade, but Luca's Pizza.
Yeah.
Really good pizza.
Yeah.
Good.
But Aladdin's Castle, that's where I fell in love with Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, man. That was two classic games that I absolutely loved. Yeah. I kept on going back over and over again. Yep. I can remember my parents tearing me away from that place so many times. And so many times they would be like, they told me flat out, we are finding a place to eat away from Aladdin's Castle. Because if not, you're going to wind up in there and you're going to disappear and we won't see you for a couple of hours. I mean, that's the God's honest truth. That was the God's honest truth, man. Up until I got my Nintendo, which was still at a pretty young age, but even after I got my Nintendo, yeah, man, I want to go play Aladdin's Castle. I
remember going to Aladdin's Castle with my childhood best friend, and we would be there, like you said, for hours. And our parents would be sitting, like they used to have those little tables like outside, and they'd be sitting there having a chat. So they weren't bored, but at the same time, it's like, how long can you really sit there and talk to somebody else? I mean, I guess you could if you really want to.
Dude,
I don't know.
My dad would let me go over there, and he'd be like, "You stay in here. I'm giving you $10 to play games, and you will stay in here. The furthest you can go is right over here." And he kind of pointed like right in front. He's like, "If you go anywhere," and I was like 8 years old. I was like 9 years old at the time. Do not go anywhere else. I will come back and get you. Do not go anywhere. Do not talk to anybody unless they are the same age as you, or they're inside there with the name badge on or something crazy like that. Okay, Dad, no problem. Dude, man. 30 minutes later, I'd be back outside because I had already spent all $10 worth of quarters playing all those games.
No,
man, it didn't last very long. Right. And next thing you know, he's like, next thing I didn't have a watch. I'd be sitting there I felt like I was sitting there for hours. Man, where's my dad? My dad, blah, blah. Next thing I know, he comes up. He's like, "Come on, let's go." Yeah. He's like, "Have you been sitting out there long?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've been sitting out there forever, Dad. $10 doesn't last very long." "Well, that's all you're getting, kid."
It's a shame what they've done.
You want any more money? He said, "You want any more money? You better do some chores."
Yeah, it's a shame what they've done to Lynnhaven Mall now. Is that there is a second floor, but it's just for like the security office.
Yeah, it's closed off. Yeah,
but again, it's like one of the only few real malls in the area now. I mean, like everything else is gone.
Oh yeah. Well, the era of the malls is over.
The era of the malls is over.
Lynnhaven Mall will be the last surviving mall in this area.
Yeah, it will be.
Period.
It will be 100%.
Yep.
But
absolutely.
You didn't think we're gonna have enough time, man. You didn't think we'd have enough time. We're already running out. The Spaceport, Coney Island, real quick. Yeah, of course, those were great. Coney Island had the NFL Blitz or whatever, the Blitz cabinet.
Yep, NFL Blitz. Yep.
On its own little second level. That was cool.
Yep. I remember that. It was so crazy.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more that we could say about that stuff, but we could be here quite a while, but this was just our backup topic, and we're already running out of time. Amazing. But anyway, when we come back, it will be Would You Rather? Would you rather? There's a mom and pop bookstore in Williamsburg that has a fantastic selection of books in general, but the one that caught my eye is a coffee table book titled Would You Rather? The Outrageous Book of Bizarre Choices, written in 2001 by Workman Publishing. I'm going to flip through the pages and we will find out which choices we would indeed rather. Okay, so would you rather have regular encounters with aliens and not have any proof, or have your best friend be invisible? I really don't see what one has to do with the other, but
right?
that's how it's listed in this. I don't get it, but okay.
Have regular encounters with aliens.
Right. You know that aliens exist. You have you've been in contact with them. They're your best buds, but you can't prove it. Or you have a best friend and they're invisible, and I mean, I'm not sure how is that a bad thing?
How does that correlate between one or the other? I mean, well, dude, okay. I mean, you do understand that, if you had a best friend, your best friend, and you're 35 years old, and your best friend is freaking invisible.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't see them, but you can hear them. They can, and nobody else can hear them. I'm assuming nobody else can hear them, right?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, invisible. You just can't see. You just can't see them. I'm guessing that they can still, like they're almost like a ghost. That's how I feel it.
Either way, you're a wacko.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe that's what they're trying to get at. Is you're just a crazy person.
Yeah. Either way, people are going to see you as a wacko. So whether it's either aliens or it's going to be the invisible person, I am going to go with aliens, because the hopes is that I can definitely, have great friends and great communication with these aliens and somehow get the technology from them to become like a billionaire coming out with all this new tech.
Sure, you could do that. I'm going to assume that there is a definite language barrier with those aliens. I mean, we don't know. I mean, I definitely believe that aliens exist. Do you believe aliens exist? I think that's a real thing.
I think that there are extraterrestrials.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been proven.
Right, that and the paranormal. I think anything in the paranormal for like ghosts.
Yes, and we will have another topic about paranormal in the future.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
But the thing is, are these aliens, you're having regular encounters, are they truly on your side? That's the thing you can't really know, because it's come up in several things, like the Twilight Zone episode, To Serve Man. That was a cookbook, bro. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it. It's a very old show. You should have seen it by now. But spoilers. So I don't know. I think
spoiler alert from a 50-plus-year-old show. Okay,
I know, right? If you haven't watched it, then that's on you, man. That's on you. Just like the 30 minutes to and from the site, it's on you.
Yep.
No, that's another little inside joke. Something about stuff. Anyway,
yep. We have to drive. We can't. We don't get paid the first 30 minutes in or last 30 minutes out.
That's right.
First 30 minutes out, last 30 minutes in. Excuse me. Strike that. Reverse it.
Yes.
Thank you.
To their credit, I mean, it is true. I mean, like, everybody has a truck commute. Everybody has a commute into work and a commute home from work, so it makes sense. But at the same time, we don't have offices, so when we get in our vehicle, that is work. But we'll get into that at some point, I'm sure.
That's right. That's right.
Either way, I would go with the best friend invisible, because I can't be sure if these aliens are on my side.
That's okay. You're just afraid they're going to continually anal probe you? Is that what it is?
Yes, or they're going to try and cook me, because it's going to be just like
but it says your friends.
No, it doesn't say have regular encounters with aliens and not have any proof.
Regular encounters with aliens. Well, if you're having regular encounters with aliens and you are still alive, regular. I mean, are we talking like regular?
You could still be alive by having multiple anal probes. Yeah, sure.
Sure, absolutely.
I
guess I'll be an anal probed MFer then. Okay, that's fine.
Great.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Can I change my answer?
You can. We didn't close it yet.
No, I'm gonna stick. I'm gonna stick with the anal probing, loving aliens that have regular encounters with me, in the hopes that I can steal technology from them and become a billionaire and no longer be anal probed.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, maybe there is some way to just.
And in the meantime, you're going to be in a psych ward because you're talking to an invisible person that nobody can hear.
I mean, again, it says invisible. Doesn't mean that they're mute and no one. It doesn't say like they're unnoticed by anyone.
Okay, then they're going to think that something possessed is coming around you at this point, because there's somebody literally around you talking like crazy, and they're going to be like, "What the f is going on with this guy here?"
Yeah, but I'd still take that chance rather than, again, we don't know if this extraterrestrial life is.
Nah, man, ET, ET all the way.
ET, the Reese's Pieces, Reese's
That's
Pieces.
Right. That's right.
Ouch. Ouch. Okay, fair enough. We'll differ on that one. It is what it is. Okay, next one. Would you rather be dating someone who insists that every electric device in both of your homes be controlled by those clap-on, clap-off devices, or that every piece of furniture have plastic covers?
Wow.
Yeah. So do you want the clapper?
Wow. All right, look. Have you ever had the clapper?
Well, I don't know what happened to it. We only had one. It worked. You just had to clap loud. Yeah.
Right. And what did it function for?
A light.
A light.
Literally it. Just a light turn off.
Probably like a light by the front door or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I've never had the clapper, but I mean, let's face it, we kind of have the clapper anyways from our voices with Alexa and Google and all those other devices.
But this is less refined technology, so it's not going to be 100%.
Much less refined technology, yes. But I mean, you're literally going to clap twice and everything turns on.
Yeah. I'd rather do that than have the. I'm with you though. I'd rather do that than have the plastic covers, because they've used that in like Everybody Loves Raymond, where his parents still had the plastic covers on everything.
Right.
Every time he sat down, it makes that little squeaky noise, that little
squeak. That's annoying as heck, man.
Don't want that.
It's like claw. That's like nails on a chalkboard to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I know it's going to sound a little strange, but I mean, how in the hell are you going to be able to do that with the electronics, man? I mean, it says every electronic device. So if it's every electronic device, we're talking refrigerators, washer, dryers, computers. I mean, everything's controlled by clapping.
That's true.
I don't see how that's possible. I mean, maybe I'm being too logical about this.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing with those devices is that even though it definitely is meant to be turned on and off by clapping. You don't have to do that. You can just go right up to the mic and double tap it, and that's loud enough, and it'll detect it.
Sure, I get that, but then you got to have it plugged in. You got to have multiple clappers, multiple places. I mean, upstairs, downstairs, inside and out, garage.
In a modern setting, you'd have a lot. You're talking at least like maybe even 100 in a
right, exactly. House. And I'm going to clap, and I'll turn on like 7 different devices where I only want one.
Yeah.
I mean, that just sounds like way annoying. I'm going to have to go with the plastic furniture.
I might have changed my mind. Yeah,
just from the real from
in the modern context. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
From a realism standpoint, I'd have to go with the furniture, just the covered plastic on the furniture, which freaking sucks, especially on a nice hot summer day when the AC doesn't want to work in the house or whatever. God, that would be so terrible.
Yep.
Just saying. Or in the wintertime, nice and cold inside, and then you sit on that plastic. Oh my God, you want to talk about shriveled fellas? Oof. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to. I mean, again, that's weird, man. The way the question's written, it's just very weird. I'm gonna have to go with option B, the plastic on the furniture.
Yeah, because you again, I think you raised a very good point. In a modern setting, with how much we depend on electronics for everything in our homes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just not.
And here's the other thing too, Jay, that really blows my mind on this too. Let's just say you turn it on, okay, and everything turns on all at once. Well, you know what's going to happen, right?
You're going to overload your system. You're going to have a blowout. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Power surge.
I think that question was meant for a different era, a different time. Yeah.
Probably like 90s where we didn't have as much stuff.
Maybe. I don't know. When was this book made?
This was made in, hold on. We'll find out real quick here.
Yeah. Front,
hold on.
back.
Flipping the pages. Actually, 2001. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We had just got into like real. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That's pre-iPhone.
Crappy question.
Yeah. Different time. Okay.
Yep.
So here we go. Would you rather have your thumb and first finger glued together for life in the OK sign, or be forced to say thank you before every sentence?
Wow.
Yeah.
Does it say? It didn't say. Did it? So thumb and first finger glued. Does it say which thumb and first finger glued or both?
Just says your thumb and first finger glued. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna say one. You just got one. That's that way. I'm gonna go with that versus saying thank you every time. That way, if you're left hand dominant, right hand dominant, just use your non-dominant hand.
For life. For life.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with thank you.
No, dude, because you could actually, there is some movement, I guess. I don't know, but you can still function with three fingers. Imagine what you can do with just your three fingers, your middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger. You could probably, make movements and do all sorts of things.
Yeah, but you depend on your thumb for so much stuff.
You do. But it's only on one hand, not both.
It is. But then you have to relearn to do things with even if you're non-dominant hand. Like still, it's going to be. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be much more inconvenient. I think adding "thank you" to any sentence is not that bad. I mean, because if like the Marine Corps and the Navy, like when I used to work for the Navy Marine Corps Internet, using that as an example, when they used to call in, one side would use "fuck" like a comma. So if they can do that, I can use "thank you" as a
I mean, but everything has to start with the words "thank you." So it's "Thank you, Jay. I appreciate everything you've done. Thank you. I'm going to go with that answer. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Oh my God, you couldn't even be in the military because every time you answer is "Thank you, sir." No, we just want sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Just sir. Thank you.
Well, it's a good thing I don't have any plans on being in the military. No. But yeah, no, I think the thank you, because again, you're talking about for life that your fingers are glued together.
I'm talking about saying thank you for life. Oh my goodness, saying thank you for everything. I mean, what if you say thank you, no thank you?
Yeah,
really?
Sure.
Oh my gosh! Would you
like more chicken?
At that
point, thank you loses all its meaning, which is fine with me.
Yeah. You have to be one of those card carrying guys carrying a card around. I have this compulsiveness where I say thank you at the beginning of every my sentences.
I'm sure have to hand those. I'm sure there's actually someone like that who exists out there who actually.
Well, yeah. I mean, did you remember watching the new Joker with
Joaquin Phoenix and no, I didn't actually watch those.
Oh, okay. So in that movie, spoiler, anybody's not seen it, but whatever. In that movie, he actually has a uncontrollable laughter type thing, and I can't remember the specific condition that it's called, but he actually carries a card around, and people might come up to him and they were like, "What the hell's wrong with you, buddy?" And he hands him that card to show them, hey, look, I'm laughing uncontrollably, not because of the situation or whatever. It's just a condition that I have. I do apologize for any inconvenience or something like that.
The problem is that my father, when I was a young boy, took a knife to the side of my face. And he said, let's put a smile on his face.
You want to tell me how he got these scars?
Want to see me make this pencil disappear? God rest his soul, man. God rest his soul.
Yes, anyway. God rest Heath Ledger's soul. Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, you can enjoy those thank yous all day long. I'll be stuck with an OK symbol on my left hand. Thank you.
Anyway, let's move on from that. Would you rather... this is a no-brainer for me. Always spit when you talk, or always be spit on when spoken to. I don't want to be spit on. Hell no.
Oh my gosh, no! I don't want to be spit on.
I'll spit when I talk. I don't care. I don't care if that makes me look inappropriate and rude. I'm not getting spit on.
Yeah, I don't want to be spit on at all. That's extremely gross. Yeah, we're just gonna have to go with a no-brainer. First one.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a weird question.
Apparently, I mean, this book also had like little, like tiny blurbs in it too. It
Right,
says
right, right, right.
it says it depends. For the Maasai people of Tanzania, Africa, spitting is considered a show of goodwill. Newborn babies are spat upon to bring the child luck, and
Right.
deals are often closed only after the traders spit upon one another. So
Yes.
apparently, it's
And
okay for a spit and that.
and I remember watching My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Okay, yeah,
And in that movie there, they would like spit on the kids' heads
yeah.
as
Even
a form
still,
of like luck or something to that effect as
that's
well.
great if
So
that's the culture, but like they were talking about just in regular life, like, nah, I'm good. Don't spit on me, please.
yeah, exactly. Don't
Nope,
spit on me.
nope, don't spit on me.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
that's easy for us. All right, let's go to the next one. Would you rather be granted the answers to any three questions, or be granted the ability to resurrect one person?
Wow, that's a
Mm,
really great
that's
question.
tough. That's tough.
That is a really, really great question.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
answers to any three questions, man, we all have
yeah,
questions we want answered.
yeah,
Like, is there life after death? That kind of stuff.
yeah,
You know. But then
yeah.
ability to resurrect someone, man, that's whoa. Anybody? Any one person, not even someone you know, like anyone in history.
Right. Anybody. You can resurrect any one person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
yeah, but
crazy.
again, okay, but we don't know the limitations of of said resurrection.
Hmm.
I mean, if you're going to resurrect somebody, like for example, I mean, again, I'm not saying that I'm choosing this, but let's say I want to resurrect George Burns, who
Hmm.
died at the age of 99.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't say you can resurrect them at any point of time that they were. Yeah, it's not like you're
Right,
bringing them back to a certain age. You're just resurrecting them. I
right,
guess they'll continue living. I was thinking more along the lines of you were going to talk about the that story about the monkey paw, where the guy had all these wishes, and first he wished for $1 million or something like that. It was like
right,
it was an
right,
older story, and then he got that $1 million only after his son died in like a factory accident, and then they gave him $1 million as like the life insurance like policy thing. So then he wished again, and he said, "I wish my son was alive and home." And he did get resurrected, but he was resurrected straight out of the grave as he was, and was started
right,
like going at the door. You never saw him, but you knew that was at what it was at the door. His mangled, mutilated body trying to get back
right,
in.
right,
So at that point, then he made one last wish because he didn't want to come to the house, and he said, "I wish my son was back dead in the grave and things were back to as they were." And then
yep,
everything went away. And then at that point, the paw was no longer useful, and then he gave it away and he gave it to somebody else, and then the paw was back to normal. It's like the next person gets more wishes. That's why I thought you were going with it. I
yeah.
didn't know you were going to go with the other way.
No, 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 no. I mean, you just described Pet Cemetery. That's really
Right.
what you described, Pet
Okay.
Cemetery, through and
Okay.
through. I mean, basically, it's the same premise.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Slightly different outcome, but it's pretty much the same premise. No, I mean, dude, resurrecting people, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's gonna have repercussions.
Yeah.
That's gonna
You're
have
right.
major repercussions in my
You're right.
mind.
Yeah.
And to me, there's a reason genies don't want to resurrect people.
True.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to go away from the resurrections and three answers, three questions, three answers.
As
Well, three.
much as I would love to have some people resurrected, it's too dangerous. Yeah, you would have. I'm going with you with the same thing for three answers, three questions, three answers,
Three questions
three
answered.
questions
But that's
answered.
all it is. It's just three questions that have answers.
That's
That's
right.
all that it is. So from that perspective, yeah, there could be some harm, but not that bad.
Not that bad. Not nearly as bad as bringing someone back to the world whose time had passed. They did what they had to do.
Right,
I don't know. People believe in different things. Like, people believe God is good all the time, and all the time God is good, and all that kind of stuff. That's,
right,
we're not here to really get into religion, but at the same time, people do believe people play their part, and their time is up.
yep, yep,
Time moves forward. So I'm
yep,
with you though. Again, we agree on this one. The
yep.
three questions with three definite answers. Okay. Yeah. Would you rather, in a fight, be armed with an 8-inch knife or a crowbar?
Oof, dude, I'd say a crowbar.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely, I'd be armed with a crowbar. I mean, the crowbar. You have more reach. It's not serrated, but guess what? With the crowbar, there is a point on the other end, and you can use that as piercing, or you can use the other end as a hook, so you can actually hook someone as well. And believe me, that thing can do a lot of damage.
You ever seen some of the photos of people that have gotten like slashed by knives? Like if they're in a knife fight, you can get really, really damaged by a knife. Like, really quick.
You can kill someone with a knife very easily.
For sure, 100%. But again, you can also kill someone with a crowbar too. It's hard to say for either one of these.
No, I have to say crowbar simply because you have better reach with it as well. You have other capabilities from it as well. You can use it like a forearm brace. You can use it to rip. You can use it to gouge. You can, I mean, there's multiple applications for a crowbar. Whereas the knife, while it is a very good weapon to utilize, in terms of fighting and whatnot, and believe me, there is a whole fighting style based off of a knife. Truly, there is.
100%.
I would go with the crowbar. Yeah, better defense in my mind.
If I knew how to use a knife, I would go with the knife. But I mean, I don't have that training like you talked about. So the crowbar would be an easier weapon to wield. It would be.
Yeah.
All right. This reminds us of something that we've talked about before with the litter boxes at the ATMs.
Oh yeah,
right? So would you rather have to go to the bathroom in a giant cat litter box inside your house, or anywhere you want but only outside?
Wow.
We're talking about number 1 and 2. You can't just do one or the other. You have to do everything outside or in the litter box.
So I have a different perspective of this than you because I have 3 cats.
Okay, I used to have cats.
Okay, so you have some perspective then about this. I would probably say the latter of the two. I would say go outside anywhere. Really? Because I got to be honest with you, I change litter boxes, every other day, if not every day, with 3 cats. And it is, 1, a chore, and 2, sometimes a challenge because, cats just, sometimes cats are sick, sometimes they're not sick, and all that kind of stuff. And just imagine
this is your own stuff, though. I mean,
exactly, which means you have to clean it up.
Right. I don't think that would be that bad. Because then if you go outside, if someone catches you, that's public indecency, and you're going to jail.
Well, again, it didn't say where. I can go out in the freaking woods, way out
anywhere
in the woods
you want, but only outside. But that doesn't mean that you're ever completely,
if you're on your own property, who cares?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But there are drones these days and all that kind of crap.
Oh,
I don't know.
My goodness. You know what? If they want to get me for indecent exposure on my own damn property, I'm going to flat out tell the cop, yeah, go ahead. Sue me. Yeah. Do what you got to do. Don't care. Yeah. I don't think that's really, I don't think that portion is implied as well. It's just, hey, do this or do that. I mean, that
it's not implied, but then again, that's how these work. But that's what I think might be the issue, that you're putting yourself out there in public, because he said anywhere you want.
Nope.
Yeah. But you're still outside. I don't know. I think I would go with the cat litter box and just put that somewhere in a room and just lock that room up and no one will get it.
Nope. I clean litter boxes, like I said, every day, every other day.
Yeah.
And
I have too. It wasn't that bad.
Oh,
it was not that bad.
Yeah, okay.
You just had to get the better.
How many cats
did you
have at one time?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. The wife and I would have purchased one of those self ones, the automated ones. Had we found one that we liked that would fit in the spot that we wanted.
They're expensive as crap, though. I've seen those.
They are expensive as crap. Yep. One of our buddies, he's got some other kind of system or whatever that he buys into. I can't remember. It's like a gels or something. It's like a gel pack or something like that. It's really weird. I can't remember what it is. I'll have to ask him about it again Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird system. I can't remember what it's called though.
All right. Well, let's move on, and we'll go with: would you rather, as a hitchhiker, see handcuffs and a chainsaw in the back seat, or see bloody clothing in the back seat? I don't.
Well, my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Would you rather see handcuffs and a chainsaw in the back seat, or bloody clothes in the back seat? Handcuffs and a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather see handcuffs and a chainsaw in the back seat. Because seeing bloody clothes back there, you're going to be already freaked out right off the bat. And if you see, clearly you're going to be freaked out either way. But I think you could allow for some elaboration on the handcuffs and the chainsaw, whereas bloody clothes in the back, yeah, you better have a really, really, really good story why it's back
bloody
there, buddy,
clothes in the
because
back
I'm not
most
getting in the
likely
car
is
with you.
yeah, bloody clothes in the back is most likely that person's a serial killer. Whereas if it's handcuffs and a chainsaw, maybe they just escaped from prison and they're trying to go. Like maybe they don't want to hurt you. They're just trying to make their way down the road too, man.
Yeah,
Maybe they
okay,
stole
yeah,
the vehicle when they were coming and they're
sure,
like, here you
sure.
go. Yeah,
And they're
I
talking
think
to you
the
behind the face of another face. No problem.
no, because then you'd have the bloody clothing in the back seat.
Yeah, no, I don't
I
think
think
so. You never know that. You
the
don't know.
handcuffs
You
and
can't tell.
chainsaw. I'll go with the handcuffs and chainsaw.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the handcuffs and chainsaw, man,
Yeah.
because I'm sorry when you come up to someone and they got bloody clothes in the back of the car, you're like, okay, you're not really gonna have much of a conversation with you. You're just gonna kind of back away slowly, and then as quickly as you can get the f out of there. Whereas the chainsaw and the handcuffs, well, you know what? You can take a closer inspection. Oh, you know what? The chain's been removed from this chainsaw, and look, the handcuffs. It's fuzzy handcuffs. So hey, we might have some fun.
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, they just took them off the mirror. Yeah, that's all this.
Exactly,
Yeah, sure.
exactly. Yeah, I had to take them off the mirror because the cops are coming. The law with the having something hanging on the mirror on the back of the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, no.
All right. Okay.
This is
So
terrible. This is so
yeah,
terrible.
chainsaw and the what is it? Chainsaw and the handcuffs, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Chainsaw and handcuffs. Yep.
Okay. Would you rather have to learn sword swallowing or fire eating? Ugh, I don't like either one.
Fire eating. I would have to. I
Really?
would rather learn fire eating than sword swallowing.
Yeah.
The whole thing with the sword all the way down your throat and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. I have acid reflux, so you might as well go
Okay.
full tilt
Yeah.
with the fire and just go ahead and burn it all, singe it completely. That way, I have no feeling in my throat whatsoever, and then hey, I won't have acid reflux anymore.
Right.
Win-win for me.
I think that the fire eating would probably be easier also because of the fact that sword swallowing, like you're putting an actual fucking sword down your throat.
That
You're
is true,
as
but
an amateur, unless you learn the right techniques, you're gonna fuck it up. Whereas if you're doing the fire eating, like I mean, yeah, they're putting it to your tongue, but at the same time, it's like it's the physics thing, right? It's like it's covered in
right,
water, so it's not gonna
right,
burn as easily. I think that the
right.
fire eating would probably be easier.
Right. I mean, from that terms, yes, but you understand that the sword swallowers don't actually swallow like sharp swords.
Oh, that's not true. I've seen actual sword swallow swords. They done it on magic shows all the time. Real fucking swords going down the gullet. I saw
Yeah,
one
I mean,
before
well,
today that
like
they did it
you
with like
watch
a
them pierce
fucking
stuff, yes.
yeah.
Maybe the tip is like pierceable, but the blade itself is most likely dull.
Dull, but still fucking still.
It's not a
I mean,
sharp blade. In other words, what I mean by
yeah.
that is it's a dull blade, meaning it's going to go down that person's throat. It's not going to cut them. It
Well,
might
either way,
pierce them.
it's going to scratch them. It's going to do something because of the fact that it's still
Eh,
metal. You're still putting a metal thing down your fucking throat,
I mean, if you
and your
polish it
insides are
well
very.
enough, if
I
you
don't.
polish it well enough, I mean, I get what you're saying. You
Yeah.
could technically get like metal flakes or something like that caught inside of your esophagus and all
Right.
that other stuff. You could get infected and God
Yeah.
knows what else. It's simple thing. It's the same concept with the grill brush. How you shouldn't use
Yeah.
those metal grill brushes
Oh
anymore on
yeah.
the grill.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
now you're talking about that. Yeah, my sister and I were talking about that story where a kid was like taken to the ER and he was coughing up blood and they had no fucking idea why. And then
right?
they were talking to the parents said, well, he was eating a burger and then all of a sudden just started
Mm-hmm.
coughing blood
Yep.
and they looked
Mm-hmm.
at the thing and they're like, oh,
Yep.
did you use one
Yep.
of those wire brushes to clean it
Yep.
for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you clean up
Yep.
the bristles? No.
Yep.
Oh. And then
Yep.
he found a little piece and took it out and
Yep.
he was able to
Yep.
heal. But yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, people have died from that too, from
Yep.
infections and whatnot. People have
It's
died from
true.
that, so it's no joke. But
Yeah. No.
honestly speaking, most of those swords that they utilize, my guess would be is that they're not going to have that kind of an issue. I mean, if you're
Mm.
sword swallowing, you're going to be using swords in a specific way, in a specific fashion, a specific type. I mean, and do all sorts of different things to it.
Yeah.
One of which being that the tip is not going to be extremely sharp. It's going to be a blunt tip, and then the rest of the blade is going to be dull as well. Like you get it as dull of a blade as possible. It is just for swallowing purposes, and they might
Mm.
even coat that blade. They very well could coat that blade too, for all we know. We never looked that up, but
Mm.
hey, it's one of those mystery things that we could look into at a later
Yeah.
time. But I would have to go with the fire breathing.
Yeah. Again, I'm going with fire eating as well because of the
Yeah,
fact that
fire eating.
that's
Excuse me.
fire eating is the it's physics. That's just
Yes.
it's how it goes. All right.
Yes.
I think we got time for one more. All
All
right.
right.
So, would you rather work for your sibling or for your best friend?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Work for your sibling or work for your best friend? Well, I'm working with one of my best friends now.
Sure.
So, I mean, hey, that's a trade-off. I mean, I'm already doing it as it is. So I would probably go with that one. But I mean, see, I've got 4 sisters. So it would all depend on which sister it would be. I mean, a couple of them, I would mind going. I would love going to work for them. But a couple of them, maybe not. I don't know. And I'm not going to say which is which. It's never going to happen, girls. Even if you listen, I'm never going to say it. Taking it to my grave. But I probably could work for all of my sisters. In all fairness, would I like it all? I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, some of them would be great. Some of them would be great. You never know. But no, I would definitely go work for my best friend in a heartbeat. I would go work for my best friend in a heartbeat. I mean, it would create an awkward situation to some extent. But I get to see my best friend every day. And as you recall, Jay, we just had one of our boss just left our company, and he got to work with his best friend for many, many years that way. True. And he didn't.
Well,
he
had
to blast the majority of the time. I'm sure,
but he did work for him.
He technically did work for him.
But when we've talked about we talked about other issues that may arise, implied things that may occur. But
you got to learn. You got to learn where to keep it professional and keep it friendly. You know what I mean?
It's a tough line to draw.
It's a tough line to draw, but you know what? They did it for at least 2 years, if not more, and did okay. They're still here. I mean, well, one of them's still here, and he's not planning on leaving.
Yeah, so they have, but not everyone would. And that's
it's a tough road to hoe. Yeah. It really is. It's a tough that can be a very difficult situation. Yeah. But I believe that in my opinion, my best friend, I could work for. I would
work for my sibling, because the fact that family is always going to be family. Whereas if you have work with your best friend, it can go very. You never do. Business is tough. And then you have to make tough decisions. And if your best friend, I mean, it's tougher either way. But I think the family thing is because that family bond that won't break as much. I think if you have an issue with your best friend, you might not be best friends anymore.
I get it. Family is family. You
got
to be
family. Blood is thicker than water. Blood is thicker than water.
I get it. I understand what you're saying, but I'm gonna stick with best friend. I really do, because my best friend is also like family to me.
Fair enough.
It's basically the same as family.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Well, good. That's very good.
Yes, sir.
Good. All right. And when we come back, it's good. When we come back, we will be back with This Your Call News. Yes. All right. Bye-bye. And now it's time for This You Call News. And here is Mitch with our special report. Mitch.
Why, thank you, Jay. Very, very much, sir. This report comes from Florida. Diamond Tiffany earrings swallowed by suspect and recovered by police in Florida. Detectives have recovered 4 diamond earrings from a suspected thief 2 weeks after he swallowed the jewelry worth nearly $700,000 during his arrest, police said. The man was detained in Florida, had told staff at a Tiffany & Company store he was interested in buying earrings and a diamond ring on behalf of an Orlando Magic basketball player back in February. He was escorted to a VIP room where he could view the jewelry, but a short time later jumped out of his chair, grabbed the jewelry, and forced his way out of the door, according to the Orlando Police Department. Officers obtained the license plate of the suspect's car through shopping center security footage and tracked down the vehicle. He was pulled over for driving without rear lights in Washington County, almost 340 miles away, according to a police report. The officer heard the suspect say, "I should have thrown him out the window." And then at Washington County Jail, he asked staff, "Am I going to be charged with what's in my stomach?" According to the arrest report. While some earrings were quickly recovered, the suspect was then transferred to a hospital where detectives monitored him and waited to collect the remaining evidence. The 4 earrings were valued at $770,000, matched the serial numbers from the jewelry taken from the Tiffany store last month, according to detectives. After the jewelry was recovered, the arrested man was taken to Orange County Jail, where he faces charges of robbery with a mask and first-degree grand theft. I mean, quick thinking.
Incredible, but like, I kind of missed it. But so they recovered it, right? But
yes,
did he pass it or did they take it out surgically? How did they recover it?
It doesn't actually say. My guess is they probably gave him some laxatives.
Okay,
and let him pass it out.
Okay,
which is so weird. I mean, I guess the guy's taking a poop with his handcuffed or whatever, and he just has to go and take a poop, and then they just put it through a strainer, and that's it.
Did they put it right back in the case for sale? I mean, that's that sounds disgusting. Who wants those at that point? Is there a discount for these?
Free poop earrings.
Hey, get $100 off because these were somewhere.
$100 off $770,000 earrings. Yes.
Yeah.
They're now 2% off. People.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Well, why are they 2% off?
You don't want to
have to have them cleaned and sterilized. Yeah. Why'd you have to have them cleaned and sterilized?
Don't worry about it.
We don't want to tell you.
We don't want to tell you. You're going to buy them or what? Oh, my God. Oh. Okay. Well, that's that guy.
That guy's special. That guy's really special.
And you really had the audacity. I'm going to be charged for what I stole.
To him for quick thinking, man. You know what I mean? He really thought quickly about that.
Yeah, but clearly not quickly enough, or not clearly enough.
No, not quickly enough.
He was still arrested. And he had to pass him and give him back up, and still charged. Right. So
still being charged. Good luck, man.
That's wow.
That's crazy, isn't it?
That's crazy.
Tell you. I mean, it only takes certain kind of people. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I can't say anything else about it.
I'm just wondering, okay, so does it show an image of them, or how big are we talking?
No,
that's why I'm wondering now.
I have no idea, but it just says there were 4 earrings, the 4 stolen earrings valued at $770,000.
I hope the little stud part that goes to the ear scraped his throat all the way down, because fuck him. A dick. Like, what are you doing, man?
Cut you on the inside.
Yeah, I hope it cut you on the inside. Jerk. I hope it scraped all the way out your butt.
Right? That's crazy.
Jerk.
You're such a mean person, Jay. I swear. Come on.
I'm just the bee's
knees. That's not right.
Hey, man. What a story. Oh, I'm sure that's not the first time it's happened, also. I'm sure someone else... It's just not for that amount. You said $770,000?
$770,000. Can you imagine that? 4 earrings, $770,000. I mean, just think about that.
Yeah.
Each one of these is what? Just shy of 165,000 on each earring.
I know a guy in the projects who can get you those for $25 a piece.
Yeah, exactly, man. I can go to Five Below and get the same thing. It's
That's
the same damn thing.
I got a Cracker Jack box. Let me open it up and find. Here's your earrings. Oh man, that's expensive as crap, man. That's
expensive as crap.
Wow,
that's it's crazy.
Jewelry.
It doesn't say what happened to the ring. I guess he didn't get the ring.
No.
So hey, whatever, man.
They got enough to book them now, so
they got plenty. Oh yeah, felony charges at that point, buddy.
Yeah,
felony charges.
But that's the thing that really kills me about jewelry value. This is something that I want to talk about in an eventual episode too. Is these predatory techniques that they give for jewelry. This is the tangent, but one time I walked in when I was coming home. My mom was watching TV, watching some sort of channel, some of those jewelry selling channels, and they started out by saying, this jewelry is only $12,000, only $12,000, amazing value, and the guy kept saying, we're going to cut it down, we're going to cut it down to $6,000, that's half the value, we're going to cut it down again, and he kept going down to it's only $149.95. It was never $12,000 then. Where do you get these random ass numbers from?
I know,
it's so predatory, and an older person is looking at this from home, and they're like, well, I can use my Social Security money for that, I'll buy it.
Oh yeah,
$149. Yeah. No, it's crappy, and that's what that's what jogged my memory. Is that whole thing was $770,000.
Yep. Just to put on your earlobes, Jay.
Yeah.
Just to put on your earlobe.
Something that is not essential.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on,
not essential.
Man.
Not essential. I know. Hey, man. Well, to you and I, it's not essential. To those that can afford it, well, that could be essential.
It's still not essential.
They just round
don't
it
care.
just rounds out the ensemble, Jay. That's all it does.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It just rounds out the ensemble.
I wear these when I'm taking the trash out.
Yes.
God.
Walking
Pulling the cans to the curb. Yeah, I'm all right. $707,000 on my ears. It's fine. Jesus Christ. Stupid shit, man.
Oh, yes.
That's
absolutely.
amazing.
Absolutely. Hope he spends a good while in jail. That's all.
That is stupid. Yeah, stealing is. Yeah, I mean, we've all. I mean, we've all seen those things that take one. We've taken one, but not to the extent of $770,000.
No, I've taken a penny or two to be able to,
Yeah,
get a nickel back or something like that. But not $770,000 worth at one point. No, haven't done that. Don't plan on doing it anytime soon either.
Craziness.
All righty. Then the next article. Jay, you're up.
Thank you, Mitch. Well, next article is entitled Artwork Mistaken for Litter Rescued from Museum's Trash Bin. This is from October 8th, 2024. So, a work of art was rescued from the trash at a Dutch museum after being mistaken for what it depicts, a pair of abandoned beer cans. All the Good Times We Spent Together, a 1988 piece by French artist Alexandre Levet, appears at first glance to be a pair of empty beer cans abandoned on the floor. However, a closer look reveals that these dented cans were meticulously hand-painted with acrylics, with each detail painstakingly replicated, the LAM Museum in Lease said in a news release. The museum said Levet's piece was on display in the facility's glass elevator shaft, where they were mistaken for actual litter by an elevator technician. The theme of our collection is food and consumption, said the museum's director. Our art encourages visitors to see everyday objects in a new light. By displaying artworks in unexpected places, we amplify this experience and keep visitors on their toes. Museum employees who noticed the artwork was missing launched a search and managed to rescue the intact cans from a trash bin that was about to be thrown out. The director said the technician who threw the art away was filling in for the museum's usual elevator technician, who is well acquainted with the museum's collection. He was just doing his job in good faith, the art director said. In a way, it's a testament to the effectiveness of Alexander Levet's art. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm looking at this photo. There's a photo of it, and it just looks like freaking. It's just beer cans. It's like
it's just two beer cans. Yeah,
I don't get it. It's just like I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. Like you had Andy Warhol with the Campbell soup can, right?
Right.
Is that too? Yeah. But these are just. I hate this kind of art. It's like oh, it's saying something. It's like, is it really though? It's two beer cans.
Well, to describe it though, all right. So one of them is a beer can. It's a full upright beer can.
Yeah,
and it says Jupiler.
Yeah, Jupiler.
I guess. Jupiler. And there's another can laying on its side.
Yeah.
Slightly dented.
And it's got a date on the bottom. Now, yeah.
I'm sorry. If I saw this on an elevator too, just sitting there, if it wasn't on like a pedestal or something, which it could have been. I really don't know if it was on a pedestal in the elevator.
We don't know.
But let's back up for a second here. It's on an elevator?
Yeah, an elevator shaft. And also...
Really?
Yeah.
You're putting artwork on an elevator shaft, inside an elevator. Okay. I mean, if it's in a glass elevator shaft, so it's sitting outside. It's sitting outside of the elevator.
It says it's in the elevator shaft.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on display in the facilities.
People have seen it in the elevator shaft.
Right.
And the elevator technician saw these cans and was like, these shouldn't be here, and just tossed them away. I mean, I get it. It's an accident. But what a freaking hilarious accident. It's like, oh yeah.
It could have been a very costly
in the elevator because that's art.
Yeah. 1988, and it's by an artist, and I don't know. It's just, I went to the Chrysler Museum of Art, right? I went to that not too long ago, over this past week, and everything that was there as art had a freaking display label that said this is artwork. It says where it is, and a blurb about where it is. You're telling me that these cans didn't have something that showed okay, this is artwork, this is who it's by? Is it nowhere near there? What kind of museum are we talking about?
It's in a freaking elevator shaft, Jay. What are you going to do?
That's the other thing too. You could still put it on the side of the shaft. I don't know. It's really weird. It's where exactly are these things? I don't know. gotta do something. You can't just leave these things around and then have people like it's gonna look like litter. It are two empty beer cans. What do you
Clearly,
think is
it
gonna
looked
happen?
like litter to the guy. I mean,
Right.
and hey, I get it. And of course, they're like, "Oh yeah, he was a fill-in. It was a mistake. We're
Yeah.
sorry." As it look, if I was that artist, yes, I would be very upset with the fact that
Yeah.
my cans, my beer cans that I've had in this art museum for however long I've had it for, all of a sudden just disappeared. I'd
Yeah.
be very upset about it. And
Sure.
yes, I'm sure the art director knew what was supposed to be and where it was supposed to be,
Yeah.
and was used to seeing these items here, and then all of a sudden
Right.
was like,
But
uh,
you're
uh.
telling me that the elevator technician, this guy who's not a normal guy, they didn't figure to tell him like, hey, this is not trash. They just assumed like, oh, he'll know it's not trash. They are just
You
beer
know,
cans.
um, I mean, hey, man, Night at the Museum, they gave him directions, and the guy didn't follow those directions very
It's
well.
true.
Maybe they never gave him directions.
It's true.
They just said, "You're the elevator technician. Go fix the elevator." And while
Yeah.
he's going around fixing the elevator, he has to go into the elevator shaft, and poof, he sees these
Yeah.
cans here, and he's like, "What the fuck is this all about,
I
man?
place no blame on
Goddamn
the elevator
littering people!
technician.
How long have these
Yeah.
beer cans been sitting in here?
Yeah.
I wonder. That seems.
How,
Let me throw these
yeah.
away. You
How
know?
lazy could people be? I'm gonna
Yeah,
take these, throw them
exactly.
away. Yeah.
Who the hell's drinking down an elevator shaft, man?
That's a good point too. Yeah. I mean, that's. Ooh. It's just that I place no blame on the elevator technician. It's not his fault at
No,
all.
I don't.
He didn't know.
Now let's be fair though. Okay,
Mm,
we work in the business. We work in a business where we got to deal with customers. Okay, we have
yeah.
to repair some equipment, if you will, and there
Yeah.
are some times that we have to go into the customer's location, and
Sure.
we're actually working on the equipment on
Right.
inside. And if
Okay.
there's some weird obstruction that we find inside of the equipment or whatever, I typically hand that to them. Hey, this is what I found that was jammed inside of the unit.
Okay.
Guys, it's not y'all's fault. It's whoever, the customer, it's the other
Yeah.
customer that did it, blah, 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 all
Sure.
that fun little jazz. So I hand it to them. This guy couldn't be like, shoot, what the hell are these beer cans? Hey, guys, I found these two beer cans down this elevator shaft. It's really weird.
Mm,
But here you go. Oh, I'm not. Oh, I
yeah.
need to go. Oh, okay. I'll go put them back.
I mean, knowing that the fact that yeah, if you're going to something that is clearly defined as an art museum, I think you should go in with that kind of knowledge of like, okay, there could be some stuff here that I don't think is art that looks like
But in an
something
elevator
made.
shaft, I never would have imagined inside of
At
an
the same
elevator
time,
shaft.
you've gotta, you know, depending on how high pollutant these art places are, it is in the Netherlands
Again,
also.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't put it past
and
Netherlands to do
also
some
see what
stuff
other
like
kind of
that.
art. Yeah, that's true, and
Yeah,
also see what other kind of art is around you.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I mean,
yeah. There is
if
that.
there's other art, I mean, I would assume that there could be something similar art wise in that area
I would think
that kind
so.
of
Yeah.
lines up with that kind of stuff. Because this, I mean, I don't know what kind of art you would call this. Is this abstract? I don't know.
I
What kind
don't
of art
know.
is this, Jay?
I
You're
don't know.
more the artsy guy. You're more
I
of an art person than I am.
I am a little bit. Yeah. I would say this is just a comment on social commentary. You know.
Social commentary. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. So, if this is social commentary stuff, then I would assume there would be other items as well in that
Yeah. In that same
area.
space that were like in
Yeah,
that same vein.
similar
Yeah.
space that
I
would
would
have
say
some
so.
similar ideas, if you
Yeah.
will.
For sure.
So, I mean, but again, you're a freaking elevator technician.
Yep.
I'm not. He might not be
You're.
an art person.
Yeah.
He's not.
Exactly.
Clearly,
Yeah.
he's not the. He
Right.
wasn't the regular guy.
Wasn't the regular dude. The regular dude
Yep.
knew what was going on in that
Yep.
space. He knew what was
Yep.
what. This is some other dude that just came in, and maybe he's not into art either.
How much you want to bet
It's
the
just a
regular
job.
guy probably made that mistake the first time
Oh
and then
yeah,
just said something to him,
it
and they
could
were
be.
like, "Hey, man, you got to put that back. That's art."
Yeah.
And okay.
Oops, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that's too
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I don't know. This kind of art is I don't know. Mm, I it's not for me. This type of art with the social commentary crap, it's like it's two beer cans, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You don't like it? It's not art. It's not art to you.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that it's not art. I mean, again,
Uh,
art is look.
Art is in
I
the
get.
eye of the beholder, sure.
Yeah, I guess so. Like my dad is taking photography classes right now. Okay, he
Mm-hmm.
recently retired. He's taking photography classes.
Mm-hmm.
He's already got all the equipment, anyways. He's had it for years and years worth of taking pictures of the eye because he was an optometrist.
Yeah.
So he has most of the equipment ready to go. He's taking it with one of his friends to keep him occupied while he's retired. and he had to take some compositions, some photos and stuff like that. He's got it of a candle and then of like 3 objects in different depths and things like that. And he's trying to do it all manually, just a bunch of different things, which I'm not going to get into because we're not teaching a photo class here. So he goes and hands it into the teacher, if you will, the instructor, and whatnot, and he's showing it to the other classmates and whatnot because it's a photo class, and they are critiquing his work, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" He's like, "No, there's this one shot here. There's something in the background. It's blurry, and it's really the door frame, and they felt like that should have been center in the behind this candle." And I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Yeah, and then of course I took this other picture here, and you could see the side of a cabinet, and their eyes immediately go to the side of the cabinet, not to the 3 objects that I took. That was the main focus of the picture, and I was like, "Really?" I was like, "That's what they're talking about." Oh, okay, and again, art is subjective.
It is subjective.
It is totally subjective. So these beer cans sitting in the elevator shaft could have made perfect freaking sense to somebody else that's out there,
Yeah. Well, my subjectiveness says it's crap. No, no. I mean, I don't know. I don't know this guy's work, Alexandre Levet. Like, I mean, maybe he's a great artist. I don't know.
Maybe he's got some other artwork that's absolally phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
Okay, we should look it up and see what it's about.
Just like Andy Warhol with the soup can, ain't it either?
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm a bore. I'm not artistically inclined or whatever. But at the same time, it's like I call trash.
I know art when I see it, and you, sir, say this is not art.
I say this is something. I don't know.
This is something. Not sure what it is, but it's something.
It's something that's not for me. It's something that's not for me. Let's get this.
Well, if we got an actual picture of it in its proper location and other things that are around it, maybe we could in turn say, "Hey, that is art."
All we have are 2 pictures.
So we have the 2 pictures, exactly, and the other one's just kind of like upside, on the angle. Just all it says.
Oh, that's all we got.
I don't know.
We'll leave it there, though. I don't know. We'll leave it there. We'll let people decide for themselves. You can find these at our Facebook page, Lumpia and Lotkeys on Facebook. I put up a bunch of our all the articles that we've been referencing are available there as article archives. You can find them there. And links to all the rest of our and we find all the rest of our links for episodes. We are several places. We're at Amazon Music, Spotify, all the good places, Apple Podcasts, everywhere you want us. We're gonna have a YouTube soon, I'm sure. We'll be working on that video segment eventually. We'll get there. Early days. It's only episode 6? Early days.
Yes, sir.
So we'll get there. But either way, that seems to be all the time we have for this episode. My name is Jay.
And I'm Mitch.
We'll see you again soon on Lumpia and Lotkeys.
Later.
If you should or would like to contact us, please find us at our Facebook page, Lumpia and Lotkeys. We will be glad to hear from you.